Oh, we got to talk some Major League Baseball. It's still the month of September. We love football. We get it. We'll get back to it here. But a lot of things are happening in baseball, including the sky falling on the New York Mets. They can't get out of their way. And now you take a look in the rearview mirror. There's the Cincinnati Reds going like, keep on losing, New York. We'd love to take that wild card spot from you because you ain't winning that NL East anymore. The Mets, 11 games back of the Philadelphia Phillies. They're going to take on Texas tonight. And you know who's back in town? It's Jacob deGrom, starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers. Tong deGrom tonight, a favorite for the Mets overnight, Joe. Minus 136. Wait to see the placard that pops up here. Minus 108 each side. Nobody is believing in the Mets right now in a total of 7.5. Does this free fall continue for the Mets tonight, or does Tong upset deGrom tonight?
Well, forget about this. I mean, first of all, deGrom hasn't pitched at Citi Field, I think, since 2022. But we're talking about two teams heading in completely different directions here,
True.
Donnie, right? So if you're a trend player and you're looking at this going, wait a minute. So I have a team that has literally over the last month played themselves back into the conversation of not only making the postseason, but winning the American League West. And now I've got a team like the Mets who held their destiny in their hand with a 4-game set against the team they have to catch. And what they do? Threw up all over themselves. And they have been bad for the last month while Texas has been good. If it ain't broke, why fix it? The Mets are broke. The Rangers aren't. I'll take the Rangers tonight.
How about this? And again, I love it. Being a Philadelphia Phillies fan, nothing brightens my day more than obviously a Philadelphia Eagles victory, but the New York Mets losing and being in free fall mode. Absolutely love to see it. Let's keep it in New York, but actually take this New York team on the road to Boston. That's the Yankees and the Red Sox. Look at the standings, neck and neck in the East. One of these teams wants to leapfrog the other, stay in the playoff picture, and maybe challenge the Toronto Blue Jays to get that AL East crown. Heel versus Giolito. 9 is the total in this game. A favorite for the Yankees overnight, minus 125s. Now we sit at minus 122 to minus 125, depending where you're shopping at. Mets, Sox tonight. Heel, Giolito. By the way, both of these guys, not very good on the analytics chart here. Do we get runs? Because 9 runs on the total, looks like we might get there.
Yeah, and, Giolito has been a savior for this Red Sox team this season here. Not a great road trip for Boston here, but this is, they didn't play yesterday, the Yankees did, right? But they were coming back from that West Coast road trip. Last time we saw Giolito, 4 runs, 7 hits across, 5 innings against the Diamondbacks. This is a spot where the Yankees, they know what they're up against. I like Louis Heel. I like his chances of keeping the scoring down. I am going to take the Yankees in the first 5 in this one. I do not trust their bullpen. Like we said yesterday, Yankees are a first 5 bet from here on out. And if it goes well, they won't need the bullpen to get involved, and we will cash this ticket.
Panic in the streets. We just talked about panic in the streets there for the New York Mets. They desperately need a victory. You know who else is like, hey, man, it feels good to be in first place. Oh, no. Somebody's sitting right next to us. That's the Houston Astros. You know who's next to them right now? The Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners are playing good baseball. Houston, France on the mound versus Waldrop. Oh, that should be an easy one. They're in Atlanta. Like Atlanta's dead in the water. Hurston Waldrop has been very, very good for the Braves since getting called up, but he's not the favorite tonight. It is France at a minus 132 price. The total, 8s and 8.5, depending on where you're shopping at here. Houston in desperate need of a win. Do they get some runs today against Waldrop?
No, they better, because they're 2-5 in their last 7, and they allowed the Mariners now to catch them up at the top. And when you think about it, the Astros had been in first place in that division since August 13. They haven't been out of first place since June 1st. So we're talking about a Houston team now. All of a sudden, could the injuries finally start catching up with them? And what does that have to do with them getting shut out yesterday in Toronto? Not a good look. I like this kid, Waldrop. I like Atlanta's chances at home, although they haven't been hitting all that well. It's a dead under for me in this one here tonight. I don't trust either offense.
Perfect segue over. The team that's battling with the Houston Astros, they're still going to be at home tonight. By the way, when does the attrition start to kick in, Joe? 13 innings 2 nights ago. 12 innings last night. They hope they don't go to extra innings tonight. That is the Los Angeles Angels and the Seattle Mariners. Kikuchi, the lefty, is going to be on the mound, who has struggled as of late, going up against Luis Castillo, who, is a pretty good name, but he also hasn't been that great over the past 30 to 45 days in Major League Baseball. However, that total sits at 7.5 and a heavy favorite overnight, minus 164, as you'll see. Right now, live, minus 172s and minus 176s, depending on which sports book you are shopping at. The 7.5s giving away to 8.5s, a lot of marketplace difference on that total. I actually think we get runs tonight. You look at the past couple games there, the Mariners in that ballpark rising to the occasion. I think they do it again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Kikuchi has been good against the Mariners in his career. But yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm with you here. I think both these pitchers, including Castillo, who, when you score 18 runs like they did against the Braves the last time he pitched, it covers up a lot of warts. He's been slowing down here, and I think I'm with you. I think runs are coming here. 7.5, I'll take the over in this one.
Yeah, no, I actually think that is. And knowing the Mariners, they'll make sure they get the extra innings just to get that. It was 4-4 before they got the extras yesterday. 5 total runs scored in extra innings between those two ball clubs. And again, a walk-off for the Mariners to tie them in the standings with the Houston Astros. Late night action tonight on a Friday, 10:15 p.m. in San Francisco. Yamamoto of the Dodgers is going to take on Verlander of the San Francisco Giants. And how about Verlander? Looking at his numbers, Joe, about the past 45 days, how about a 3 ERA? How about a 340 xFIP number? How about a 346 SIERA? He's actually been good. He's not the favorite tonight. Minus 154 overnight. FanDuel still sits at a minus 154. 163 at DraftKings, so it is a little bit on the move, but a total that is sitting at 7.5. The Dodgers need this win to stave off those San Diego Padres, but more importantly, the Giants are right in the thick of the playoff race with that Mets fold up where they may be able to chase down the Mets and also the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, well, the interesting part is both of these offenses have gotten it going here. The Dodgers over the last week have been pretty good. Now, mind you, they're coming off a series against the Rockies. But the good news is Mookie Betts now has multiple RBIs, I think, in 5 consecutive games. And 13 in those time. Now, he was struggling, and you notice when Mookie Betts was struggling, the Dodgers offense was struggling. Teoscar Hernandez also starting to catch fire here. So to me, like the pitching matchup here, I still think the number is a little low because I think the bullpens will give up some runs. I'm going to take the over in this one here tonight.
Over in San Francisco. See what happens. That's the last game on the board today, Joe. I just want to take a look, since we have a couple seconds here left, a look at those MVP and Cy Young Award-winning markets here. And when I say winning, they're pretty much wrapped up at this point. But there is still a door cracked open for Cal Raleigh. You saw 2 home runs in an Aaron Judge Yankees win yesterday. He's minus 500, but it feels like they're not letting him pull away to that minus 1,500, minus 2,000 point just yet. Why? Because you're getting bonus points here. The Mariners playing good baseball right now. The Mariners in a tie for first place. Cal Raleigh's going to get the benefit of that. And also, Cal Raleigh is doing this as a catcher and leading the National/American League home run race all by himself. Do you think there's a chance that Cal Raleigh can still win this, or are we just another 2 home run game away from Aaron Judge for sealing this up for good?
Well, yeah, and I think what happens is you'll get Aaron Judge hit a couple home runs, and he'll take the headlines. He's always going to take the headlines, no matter what Cal Raleigh does. He's always going to be the featured story. Now, whether or not that influences the voters here remains to be seen. Maybe there's a little Aaron Judge fatigue, but until I see otherwise, it's going to be Aaron Judge all the way unless he gets hurt and can't play anymore.
Yeah, Ohtani's got this thing wrapped up here, obviously, as the NL MVP. But also understand this. Paul Skenes is a minus 50,000 to win the Cy Young Award in the NL. Here's what I don't understand about the Pittsburgh Pirates at this point. Is there a point to letting him throw 50 to 60 pitches? Just shut him down. He won the award. Save him for the offseason, and away you go. I'm going to take out some frustration after losing my buy wager yesterday. Let's get back on it. It's the Milwaukee Brewers, and there we go. Look at the animation right there. Ooh, maybe a little smoke out there rolling up in the clouds. Milwaukee, team total over 4.5. You know, Joe and I are old enough to remember Sergio Valente jeans in the 70s and the 80s here. They're defunct, but how about Andre Palante on the mound for St. Louis? He might as well be the past like those jeans. He's going to get hammered tonight. Did you know his last 45 days in Major League Baseball, 7.64 ERA? He's getting hit tonight. The Brewers will do the hitting. Over 4.5 as a team total for the Brew Crew. A 2-0 night tonight, Joe. It just feels like it's in the stars for us, doesn't it?
Yep, I agree with you, Donnie.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I like that guy. Look at him. Huh?
Now, by the way, see, I have a
Nice.
problem with that picture right there, real quick, because by the way, that picture that shows up is 55 pounds heavier than your boy that
Yeah,
sits
that's a
here
good
right
point.
here. So did they put that picture on there? Is why I got the AI image.
Oh,
Like that's me
there
right
you
there.
go.
That is shrewd.
There you
That is
go.
new age. That is talent right there. That is sharpness right there. Love to see it, and you guys love this program. We love that you love to watch us here on the show.